Hello, Miss Steele here. So this week we have been talking about art movements. An art movement is how we organize art. It's when a bunch of artists are making artwork that looks the same at the same time. And we're focusing on cubism. And cubist artists like to take everyday things from our lives and turn them into really simple shapes. We're going to look at Paul Klee for this project. So that is going to be the focus for this project. Paul Klee was a cubist artist, and he liked to make cities out of simple shapes. So what you want for this project is a white piece of paper, and then you want a black piece of paper if you want your city to be at nighttime, but you can use a blue piece of paper if you want it to be at the daytime. You want a pencil and an eraser, scissors, glue, and then if you have it, you want markers and crowns to color in. But if you don't have both, you can use what you have. But you will need a black marker or a black crown to outline. So I'm going to get all of this stuff out of the way, and we're going to start drawing together. Now you can change a few things about yours if you would like, but if you want to make your city just like mine and follow along exactly like how I'm doing, you can do that as well. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to start out with a big rectangle at the bottom of my paper. And I'm going to try to keep my lines straight as possible. And then I'm going to take this big rectangle and make some more shapes. I think I'm going to draw a line going down like this. And then maybe one more right next to it. And then I'm going to make some small squares. And then I think over here, I'm going to make a round shape. So I'm going to make it go around like that. And then maybe one more on the inside. For this shape right here, I think I'm just going to draw one line going down the center of it. So now we have a few different shapes, but we can keep adding on to this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tower shape right here. And then maybe make it into two triangles by drawing a line through it. I think I'm going to do that for that area. Over here, I think I'm going to make two buildings that are kind of round on the top. So 1, 2. I think I'm going to make some skinny rectangles. And then right here on the top, I think I'm going to add a triangle. And then right here, I think I'm going to make some skinny rectangles. So there is what I have for mine. I could add in some more lines if I wanted to make some more shapes in different areas. But I think for right now, maybe I'll make this one into two triangles, just so we can have one more triangle. But for right now, I like how this looks. So what I'm going to do once I'm done drawing my city in pencil, and I want to draw it in pencil first so I can erase if I make any mistakes. But once I'm happy with what it looks like, I'm going to grab a black marker and I'm going to go over my pencil lines. So this is going to make it easier to color in. It's going to make it look more like a Paul Klee, and it is going to make it easier to cut out when we put it on our background paper. So I'm going to go through and go over all of my pencil lines, and then we will move on to our next step. Okay, so now that I have it outlined, what I want to do is I want to use some crowns and some markers to color this in. I think using the crowns and the markers, one, gives us more colors to choose from, and I really like how the ink from the markers looks next to the texture from the wax and the crowns. What we want to do is we want to try to put a different color in each of these sections. If you need to repeat colors because you don't have that many, that is quite all right. You just want to try to put different colors in different areas. That's because we have all of these different shapes and we want all of them to stand out. So if they're all different colors, our eyes kind of look all around the artwork because there's so much color. If all the shapes are the same color, it kind of makes it less interesting to look at all the individual shapes because they're all the same color, so it's harder to focus on them individually. So I'm going to work on getting some of this colored in crown, some of this colored in marker, and then we'll move on to our next step. Alright, so I almost have this all colored in, and because I'm using markers and crowns, I haven't really had to repeat too many colors, thankfully. But once I get this all colored in, I am going to get it cut out, trying to get as close to this black line as I can. And then we will put it onto our background, and depending on what color you wanted your background to be, will change how you decorate your background. So if you decided to use black and you want it to be nighttime, you might add in some stars and a moon. If you decided blue to be your background color, you might add in some different clouds, maybe a sun. So I'm going to finish up coloring in my last two spots. I'm going to get this cut out and then we'll start decorating our background. Alright, so I have my city all done and I can glue it onto my background. But what I want to do first is you could either use a gray crown, a silver crown, or a white one. And I'm going to draw the letter C up here, like that. And then I'm going to draw it one more time, kind of skinny on the inside. And then I'm going to color that in. And that will give me a moon. And then I can use my white crown to kind of go around and press anywhere where I might want there to be a star in the sky, because I'm doing a nighttime sky. So I would want some stars. If you did a daytime sky, you might use white to add some clouds, or you might add a sun. I have the shiny gray crown I'm going to use too, and I'm just kind of going around randomly and making little dots or lines where I would want there to be stars, and I want a lot of stars in my sky, so I'm going to do that. Now I will flip around my city and then go around the edge, adding a thin line because we don't want this to be sticky and icky. So I'm adding a thin line going around like that. And then I'm going to grab it, flip it around, hold it on the edges so I don't get too much glue on my hands, and then try to put it as close to the middle as I can, and then press down. And then I like to go around the edges and just clean up any glue that might be sneaking out. And just like that, we are finished. You want to find a safe place for this to dry, but your Paw Klee City should be all done. I can't wait to see how your project comes out. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Bye!